more than 1,100 days. I came here with the convoy back on January 29th of 2022 to stand up against the lies and the corruption, particularly the COVID lies and the campaign of terror that was unleashed by this government in the spring of 2020. And it all came to a head here in Ottawa, and Justin Trudeau standing in front of the Canadian people and saying that the only path forward is until we find a vaccine for this. I'm sorry, they're not vaccines. And the cart is before the horse. These injections were ready to go in 2016. And from 2016 to 2019, they spent hundreds of millions of dollars getting the people ready and getting the language ready for there's going to be a pandemic. And they use things like Palantir, Gotham Data Services, BNN, Bloomberg reports, and the money was just flowing. In 2016, at the University of British Columbia, and a one Thomas Madden and Acuitas Pharmaceuticals, who had the proprietary rights to the lipid nanoparticle, they found a way, a delivery mechanism to get the injections inside the human body. And that happened right here in Canada at the University of British Columbia. And Justin Trudeau had a stake. And when he stood in front of the Canadian people and he said that this only path forward, he didn't tell the Canadian people that he had a financial stake in the selected path forward. But he's been caught, and we have pure evidence to support the web of complicity and the measures that they took when they created this faux pas. They created the illusion that the world was in a threat of a global pandemic. And that was a lie, my friends. The truth of the matter is that they had these medical technologies, these gene therapies, pharmaceutical companies certainly being enriched by all of this, but there was even something far more insidious going on with these injections, and that was that in fact they are bioweapons designed for the harm of humanity. And we've known that these injections, these particular injections, have been in construction for 58 years. And this isn't something that sprung up in the spring of 2020.
And I'm from Saskatchewan, and I'm here because of the government overreach in Canada. And our Prime Minister, well, let's call him first. He's a crime minister. He rolled out an injection on us, China style, in Canada. And they're now saying they're Team Canada, and they're gonna solve the issues in our country when they China styled us. You take this injection or lose your job. One's not good enough, you better take two. Myocarditis, people dying, and we got a prime minister who says that it's good for babies 6 months and older. Matter of fact, I seen today they promote it on pregnant women. They tell pregnant women that it's safe and effective. And National Citizens Inquiry says it's neither safe nor effective, and it does more harm than good on children. And Sean Hartman is a 17-year-old dream. His dream wiped away. So it just does more harm than it does good. And they are still promoting it. And they are proroguing us, handcuffing. Every time we try to do a non-confidence vote, we know we have people betraying our country. They get to vote on it. They get to vote against a non-confidence vote. And we wonder why we can't get a non-confidence vote going in our country. How many non-confidence votes did we have last year? Right? We had how many? And they shot them down every time. And then we have Pierre coming in here, and even his was shot down. We have Green Slush Fund, $400 million gone to family and friends of Trudeau's, Liberals. And they think that we should trust them and allow them to prorogue and handcuff our country for another year, if they want. You know what I mean? When does the corruption stop? And when is there accountability, and when is there justice for the vaccine injured people that were told you take this injection or lose your job? That did the Canadian thing. But we wouldn't have done it the way our Prime Minister did it. No compassionate exemptions. Not even for people who had medical. You know how many people would show their asthma puffer and people would go, mm-mm. And it was 16, 17-year-old girls, boys that were looking to make sure you had a vaccine. China style before you can go into places? That's not Canadian.
Concern is Donald Trump. He has threatened to annex Canada by bringing us to our knees economically. He has threatened military war on both Denmark and Panama. He has abandoned NATO by siding with the Russians against Ukraine, and he is trying to steal Gaza from the Palestinians. At a time like this, I feel that Canada needs a proven international statesman to lead us through these extremely difficult and challenging times. And like him or not, Justin Trudeau has proven that he can do this, and he is the man to do this, and he must not resign. He must not resign. He has an absolute moral obligation to Canada and to the planet Earth, because Canada is leading the charge against this American expansionism, and it must be stopped. Thank you.
Steve, I've been here for 3 years now, since the Freedom Convoy in 2022, and I'm here for truth, justice, freedom, love, and peace. And I don't play politics. I'm not for either side. I believe people should govern themselves, and we need a new way of doing things without a corrupt government. So, and yeah, I have my speaker and my signs, and I try and wake up one person at a time, and that's all I can do. And